Guys, I just got finished filming Yoga for Energy, and when I was editing this beautiful vinyasa flow, realized the TV was on the whole time. Ozark, season 3, lots of bad words. So you're gonna have to deal with the voiceover situation. I apologize, normally not status quo, but we all need yoga, whatever form we can get it. Namaste. Hi guys, I'm Rebecca, and welcome to my Vinyasa Flow for Energy. This follow along video is meant to be done after the body's warmed up. So if you haven't done so already, jump on your mat, get a few sun salutations in, possibly follow along with the BARREbeat Flow video that we have posted, and I'll see you on the mat. So from an active child's pose position, let's go ahead and transfer the weight to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Draw shoulders down and away from the ears. Push yourself back to down dog. In this down dog, just allow the body to open up. Walk your dog, straighten one leg, bend the other. Once you feel comfortable, go ahead and come to stillness. Pushing hands into the mat, drawing shoulders down and away from the ears. Navel pulled into the spine. Allowing the body to come to rest. And once your body is comfortable, come to stillness. Taking a deep inhale through the nose. Draw the navel into the spine and exhale through the mouth. Continuing on to calm our central nervous system by inhaling deeply through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Go ahead and bend the knees, look forward, and walk the toes to the top of the mat. Holding your forward fold here. Draw your navel into the spine and release the upper body over the thighs. If you'd like to come deeper into your forward fold, take your right arm behind your right calf, grabbing the front of the left shin. And take your left arm behind your left calf, grabbing the front of the right shin. Go ahead and straighten the legs. And when you're ready, release the hands, straighten the legs, forward fold. From this forward fold, go ahead and reverse swan dive up, drawing the energy from around the room up into the heart center. Shoulders are pulled down and away from the ears. Mountain pose. Inhale deeply. As you exhale, draw your navel to the spine, forward fold. Hold this forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Hold it here. Plant your palms as you take your right foot to the back of the mat. Right knee comes down, arms come up and over. Hold it. Do a quick check on that hip. Make sure left hip and right hip are even. Hands come back down to the mat. Lift the back leg. Take a round of breath here. And when you're ready, release knee back to the mat. Half splits. Inhale deeply. Exhale, come back to that runner's lunge. Back leg is lifted, gaze is down and in front of you. Taking a moment here, finding a focal point to help with our balance, checking in, making sure that right hip is level with the left, applying pressure to that back heel as you lift the hands. Take that left foot back to plank. Hold your plank here, shift forward, Chaturanga Dandasana. High to low. If you're new to yoga, simply come to the knees, to the chest, to the chin, cobra or baby cobra. Push yourself back to child's pose, then down dog. We'll all meet in down dog when you're ready. Take a moment here, walk your dog, straighten one leg, bend the other. Once you're ready, go ahead and walk those toes to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Navel's pulled into the spine. Inhale deeply. On your exhale, take that left foot to the back of the mat. Go ahead and drop that back knee, bringing shoulders over the hips, reaching up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, pull your navel into the spine, bring those hands back down to the mat. half splits. Gaze is in front of you, getting an extra stretch if it's available here by pulling those toes back towards the shin. Exhale, coming back to runner's lunge. Gaze is in front of you. With your navel pulled into your spine, engage your pelvic muscles as you lift your hands off the mat. Bringing them back down, plank pose. From plank, go ahead and shift yourself forward about 2 inches, preparing for Chaturanga Dandasana. Remember, you can always modify by coming to knees, chest, chin, child's pose. Otherwise, meet us back in down dog. And from this down dog here, we're going to do another Chaturanga Dandasana. You could choose to pass and stay in down dog. Otherwise, Chaturanga is a beautiful way to open up the chest, and it's an amazing strength builder for the upper body. Meeting back and down dog when you're ready. Down dog is an active pose, but it's also a resting pose. Time for us to gather our thoughts and take a deep breath if needed. And when you're ready, walking your toes back to the top of the mat. Forward fold to half forward fold, forward fold. Come on up, gather the good energy from around the room, bring it back to the heart center. Reverse it back down to Mother Earth. Half forward fold to forward fold. Hold it here. Draw navel to spine. This time right foot takes a giant step back. Bring the knee down. Draw shoulders over the hips and reaching up. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. When you're ready, taking those hands on either side of the foot, coming into half splits. Roll the spine through, coming into low lunge. You can hold it here or draw the arms up and out, reaching up towards the sky. Those hands back down, half splits. Go ahead and take that left leg, shoot it back behind you, coming into plank, or keep that leg lifted as you come into Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low. Push yourself back to down dog. Walk your down dog. Readjust the spine if needed. And when you're ready, come to stillness. Drawing that navel into the spine, inviting the heels to the mat, but knowing if they don't get there, that's okay. Walk those toes back up to the top of the mat, forward fold to half forward fold to forward fold. Come on up, draw the good energy from around the room, reverse it back down to Mother Earth, forward fold to half forward fold, forward fold. Hold it here. This time, go ahead and take your left leg to the back of the mat. Come down to the knee. Draw navel to the spine. Arms are going to come straight up. Shoulders are pulled down and away from the ears. Bring those hands back down to the ground. Half splits. Drawing those toes back into a dorsiflex position. Round through the spine, rock forward, come into low lunge. Shoulders are directly over the hips, palms are facing each other. Bring those hands back down, coming into half splits. From half splits, you're going to take that right foot, shoot it back, coming into Chaturanga. Keep that foot lifted, or traditional Chaturanga Dandasana. Push yourself back to down dog. Holding your down dog here. Coming into three-legged dog on the right side. Take that right heel to the left glute as you open up the right hip, keeping shoulders leveled off. Go ahead and take that right knee all the way around across the front of the body to the left tricep. Kick it back to three-legged dog. Now take the right knee to the right tricep, Spider-Man push-up. Push yourself back to three-legged dog. From this three-legged dog, you're going to take that right foot to the top of the mat. Coming into half splits, return to low lunge. Shoulders come directly over the hips. Return those hands back down, standing half splits. Over the hips. Return those hands back down, standing half splits. And kick that leg back, return to plank. Weight transfer over to the left side body, outside edge of the left foot, coming into side plank. Go ahead and take any variation you'd like here. Play with your side plank a little bit, maybe coming into tree pose. When you're ready, come back to plank. Push yourself back to down dog. Hold your down dog here. And when you're ready, come into three-legged dog on the left side. Bend the knee, open up left hip. Draw navel to the spine on your exhale, taking that knee across the body all the way over to the right tricep. Return to three-legged dog. Now bend the knee, taking knee to left tricep. Spider-Man push-up. Return to three-legged dog. From three-legged dog, we're going to take that leg all the way up to the top of the mat. Low lunge. Shoulders are over the waist. Bring those hands back down to the mat. Half splits. Return to low lunge. Straighten the back leg. Bringing shoulders over the waistline. When you're ready, bring your hands back down to the mat. Standing half splits. Put a bend back into the knee. Shoot that left leg back. Plank pose. From this plank pose, you're going to weight transfer over to the right side body, coming into side plank. Take any variation you'd like here. Play a little bit. See where your body wants to go. Come to your threshold and return back to plank. Shoot that leg back. Down dog. From down dog, inhale. Exhale. Taking a moment here to catch our breath, steady our racing heart. Go ahead, come to the toes and wave the body through to plank. From this plank, go ahead and weight transfer over to the right arm and the outside edge of the right foot, coming into side plank. You can hold your plank here if you'd like, or take that top leg in front of you. Putting foot flat on the mat, you're going to release your hips down to the mat. Take a moment here and then apply pressure to that right palm as you lift out of that right arm. Coming into a rainbow shape, returning the hips back down. Let's do this 3 more times. Trying to lift the hips a little bit higher every time. Getting a beautiful stretch in those intercostal muscles. And once you're ready, go ahead and stack left foot on top of right. Remember, you can always take the modification of bringing that bottom knee down for extra support. Otherwise, maybe in side plank, come to plank, hold your plank here, shift yourself back to down dog. Taking a moment and waving through the body to plank. Weight transfer over to the left side. And when you're ready, taking that right leg up onto the mat with the flat foot, holding it here, applying pressure to that left palm. Drop the hips, looking over the right shoulder. Exhale, draw navel to the spine, pushing out of the left palm, making a beautiful rainbow shape with the body. Let's continue on. Every time we come into that rainbow shape, we get a little bit higher. 2 more. Last one. Hold it here. Shoot that leg back, stacking right foot on top of the left. Weight transfer over to plank, then down dog. From this down dog, coming to a 3-legged dog. Taking the right foot to the top of the mat, invite left to meet right foot. Forward fold, draw navel to spine as you inhale, coming into mountain pose. Taking a moment here, hands at the heart center, reflecting upon our practice, maybe reflecting upon any intention or devotion you may have set prior. When you're ready, take that right leg to the back of the mat. Turn all toes towards side of the mat as we prepare for goddess pose. Putting a deep bend in both the legs. Trying to keep shoulders on top of the hips. You could bring your arms out to the full expression or straighten them like mine are. Drawing your navel into the spine. Straighten legs. Inhale deeply. Exhale, coming back to goddess. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, goddess. Tucking the tailbone underneath you. External rotation of the feet to protect the knees. One more. And from their goddess pose, you're going to take your hands down in front of you, underneath the face. Turn the heels so they're directly behind the toes and come into a wide leg forward fold. From this forward fold here, draw your navel into your spine, release the head. Coming to a half forward fold, go ahead and plant down that left hand as your right arm reaches up towards the sky, not allowing that right hip or left hip to shift. Hips are still parallel to the ground. Gaze is up that right hand. Bring that right arm down, replace it. Allow the left arm to come up towards the sky. Again, your gaze could be at your hand or at the ground. Check in with your hips. Make sure that they're still parallel to the ground. Release that arm back down. Forward fold. Go ahead and heel toe your feet in so that your heels are hip width apart. When you're ready, go ahead and drop those hips down to the ground, coming into sumo squat. So you want to take your elbows to the inside of the knees and actively push the knees away from you. This will help open up the hips. Intention here is to have a flat spine. So draw your navel into your spine and tuck that pelvis underneath you. Continuing to apply pressure to the inside of the knee as we open up the hips. When you're ready, go ahead and drop that left hand down, opening up to the right side. Make sure that right or left hip hasn't followed you. Release that right arm back down. Readjust if needed. And then go ahead and take that right hand to the ground, opening up to the left side. Of this stretch, the openness, and the release of pressure from the back. Bringing those hands back down to the heart center. Let's go ahead and bring your hands directly under your face as you straighten your legs, coming into a wide leg forward fold. Inhale, draw your navel to your spine, come back to sumo squat. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, sumo squat. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, sumo squat. Continuing on. Use your breath as your guide. Feeling a deep burn in those thighs, and at the same time, feeling a stretch throughout the backside body. Navel's pulled into the spine the whole time to prevent any back injuries. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. This will be our final one. Making sure we're at our threshold. Pulling navel to the spine, bringing those heels back in. Hands to the heart center. Hold it here. We're going to hold our sumo squat as we build strength in our thighs. For those of us who need it, I invite you to bring a block underneath your sit bones for additional support. Go ahead and bring those hands back down, straighten the legs one last time, heel toe those feet together. Put a deep bend in the knees, come to the tippy toes, and release yourself back to the mat. If you have any blocks nearby or thick books, grab them. As we prepare for a seated wide leg forward fold, remove any flesh from underneath you. Finding your two sit bones, sitting tall and strong, making sure shoulders are directly over the hips, toes are pointed up towards the ceiling to protect our knees. What we're going to do now is take the blocks for support and to essentially bring the floor closer to us. And once you're in a comfortable seated position, make sure that pelvis is tilted slightly forward. You may need additional support underneath your sit bones to have that. Like most seated forward folds, we're going to lead with our chest and not our head. So when you're ready, pull your navel into the spine. With your shoulders pulled down and away from your ears, take those arms up and out of the shoulders. Inhale deeply, palms are facing each other. As you exhale, begin to descend down, leading with the chest and not the head. I always like to say, we lead with our heart and our mind will follow. Once you've come to your threshold and you know you could go no further, then you can release your head. You can utilize the blocks that you have for extra support underneath your hands or your forehead, releasing all tension and tightness the body is holding on to. With every inhale, we wash over all tightness our body is holding on to. And with every exhale, we rid that tension and that tightness. Reminding ourselves that yoga is about becoming comfortable with the uncomfortable. Holding your forward fold for as long as you feel comfortable and asking yourself, am I at my threshold? If you're not at your threshold, on your next exhale, come to the threshold. When you're ready, tucking the chin and the pelvis as you come back to a seated neutral spine. From this neutral spine, go ahead and bring those legs together, coming into a seated butterfly pose. Make sure that pelvis has a slight tilt forward, finding right sit bone, left sit bone underneath you. And once you have both sit bones even on the mat, go ahead and grab the outside edges of the ankles. We're going to begin to descend forward once again, leading with the chest and not the head. Folding the chest over the body, allowing the hips to just splay open, actively pushing the knees into the mat. Once you come to your threshold, release your head. Coming to a comfortable forward fold. Check in with your hips, check in with your sit bones. Make sure those sit bones have not left the mat, actively pushing them back down. Elongating the low spine, getting a beautiful spinal stretch from the low spine, mid-spine to upper spine. Walk your hands back, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing those shoulders back over the hips, and meet me in a comfortable seated position. And once you're in a comfortable seated position, I invite you to bring your hands to your heart center. Thumbs are pointed inward. To remind yourself of the most divine teacher there is, which is yourself. Though these times are slightly unfamiliar and may seem out of control, yoga is a beautiful reminder that everything you need, you already have. You simply need to come to stillness. And once the body has a chance to come to that stillness and come to that place where we ask no questions, but we listen for answers. And once we've come to that stillness and we truly listen to the body, all of our answers will appear before us. I invite you to concentrate more on the things around you that you can control, such as your breathing, and to let go of the things you cannot control. I remind you that yoga continues once your mat is rolled up. So from my home to yours, I wish you nothing but happiness and health. Namaste.